The entrance of the northern shore is off your starboard beam, less than 50 feet. I'm away from your side, you're free to vent and
Roger, surface, I'm venting 3s, 4s, venting 2s, 5s, venting 1s and 6s. All vent. Okay, good morning ladies and gentlemen. Now welcome to Atlantis TS11. Now that communication you were hearing, that was between the surface officer, yeah? The guy I told you guys about on the blue and white tender boat. And he was relaying instructions to our pilot sitting directly behind me to let him know that the hatch was secure. It was okay to open the vents on the side of the submarine so we can descend down and begin our tour. Now while we're descending here, a good time for me to introduce to you the rest of our crew. Now you guys already met me, I'm Harry, a narrator. Sitting in the aft of the submarine is our co-pilot and his name is Darius. So give it up to Darius for me please.
Alright, good morning everyone and welcome aboard the Atlantis TS11. As Noel said, my name is Darius. Now, I'm going to make sure we get a nice, safe tour. We're going to have a comfortable ride. I'm going to always talk to the pilot to make sure we're close. He's not too close to the coral reefs. And also, I'm going to say this is my hand as I'm the only one who released those safety equipment that was demonstrated on the way here. They're located right in front of you in the knee-high white compartments. So if you guys can do me a favor, if you have any heavy bags belonging to little children on the compartment, just place them on the floor this time. And for our safety, make sure to put on your seat belts. They're right in front of your seats. If you cannot see them, it should be there. It's a little yellow belt. Sometimes people do sit on them without noticing they were there, so make sure you're not sitting on your seat belts. You guys are awake. We have no seat belts. Alright, I'm going to pass it back to Noah.
And that was Darius, our co-pilot. Now, to the main man of the hour. As you can see, he has already brought us down right into the coral reef area here. Yep. He's a veteran, a legend in his own mind. He's my pilot, your pilot, the man who controls the oxygen inside the submarine right now. Let's give it up to Jeff Parsons. Hey guys, welcome aboard. How are you guys doing? Everyone good? Welcome aboard the Atlantis 11. Right now, looks like very good visibility. We're moving offshore. We're going to have some coral reef on both sides of the submarine, and our views look excellent. You guys sit forward and enjoy. Thank you. Alright, so as I said before, our pilot has brought us down into the coral reef area here on the either side of the vessel. So because we're on a sea vessel, I'll be using nautical terms on board. Meaning that this side of the submarine where you see the lights are flashing right now is your starboard side. On the other side, where we're flashing, is your port side. And also, we do have 2 depth gauges on board the submarine. There's one on the port front, and there's one in the starboard aft right beside the co-pilot. Now, in case you're wondering, your current depth, you're at 76 feet and descending. We do have right above your each of your viewports some air-conditioned vents for your comfort. Yep, you can adjust them to you. Also, we have the fish ID cards right in front of viewports as well, otherwise known as your sushi menus. Now on either side of the coral reef here, we're looking at 2 different classifications of coral. You're seeing the rock-like looking images there, which would be your hard coral. Your softer corals would be the tree-like looking images there. Now also, we have sponges. Now all of these sponges, they do take their name by their predestined shape. So if we're passing like this nice green tube sponge on your port side, because it looks like a tube, it is called a tube sponge. You have the rope sponges. Now this orange sponge here is called your orange elephant ear and crescent sponge. It looks like an ear. And the biggest ears that we know right now is the elephant ears. So it is your orange elephant ear and crescent sponge. Here we have some brain coral over here on your port side. The one that looks like a maze there, like on the shape of your brain. Now also on the coral reef, we have those small fish. Now these smaller fish would be your grazer fish. Now, the job of your grazer fish is to eat all the algae that grows on the coral reef, therefore keeping the coral reef clean and alive. Now if that didn't happen, the algae would grow, suffocate the coral reef and kill it. Now either side we're passing also some bluefish. Now we have a cute little nickname for those bluefish, and that would be bluefish. And that's because they are blue throughout. If you were to cut one of these bluefish here, you would get everything blue. Meaning blue blood, blue meat, blue bones, just like a big old blue crayon. Now the correct name for the bluefish is called your blue chromis. Now we have on your starboard side there, you're seeing some black fish with the white stripes on either side. Now those would be your black sturgeon. Now in the earlier years, fishermen used to catch those black sturgeons. There's some there on your port side as well. They would tear their hide off, put it out to dry, and use it as sandpaper. what's happening over there? Did you see a turtle? A turtle there? On the starboard side? He went underneath? On the... Yeah.
Ow. I just did the same thing.
Oh, there he is. There's a turtle. A sea turtle. There you see him.
Okay, now we have that turtle over here on the port side. Now, look at the size of that turtle. Now, by looking at that turtle, can you tell me what gender is that turtle?
Female.
Female.
That is a male hawksbill turtle.
How can he tell?
Now, how could I tell that? There's a penalty for size.
Yeah.
Now, how could I tell that's a male turtle? Okay, if you look on the turtle, you'll see 4 legs and a tail, right? Now the female turtle either have a short tail or no tail. But turtles are the only reptiles that do not have tails. So I'll leave it to your imagination what that third tail is. Now that's the reason why I could tell that's a male turtle.
Fair enough.
So those are one of the things to look out for in the coral reef. Turtles, also lobsters in the coral reef as well. You do have your snappers. Over in the sand area here, that white powdery stuff on the bottom there, you keep an eye out for stingrays. Now mainly your southern stingray. So your stingrays, they not only feed on the bottom, but they love to dig themselves and also hide into the bottom of the sand. We have a small lionfish there on your starboard side. Now Now he's a small striped fish there that looks like a crossbreed between a porcupine and a zebra. Now your lionfish is a predator to our waters. And right now that there's no known predators for the lionfish, they hunt and they eat all about 80% of these smaller grazer fish that keep the coral reef here clean. So what happens is the various governments have put in eradication programs where they do allow open water divers to hunt, snare and shoot the lionfish. Now how does these lionfish, how did they got over in the Atlantic? Bearing in mind they're normally found over in the Pacific. Now what happened was there's a lot of theories, but the main one that everyone is more concrete with is that there were 6 lionfish in an aquarium in a boat off the southern coast of Florida. And in 1992, Hurricane Andrew visited that southern coast, destroying that aquarium, damaging that boat, and releasing those 6 lionfish here in the Atlantic. Now those 6 lionfish, they spawn, and because each lionfish spawns 15,000 eggs every 3 months, now you have an overpopulation of the lionfish ranging all the way from Rhode Island all the way down to Venezuela and the far east at Barbados.
It's in a coral.
Over on the port side there, the blue and yellow fish there, those are queen angel fish. Now there are 3 species of angelfish. You have the queen angel, the French angel, and also the gray angelfish. They're a nice yellowtail snapper going by on the port side. A little bit later on we have another name for that snapper, and that would be lunch. Now what happened over here on the starboard side? The coral reef just up and disappeared, right? Welcome to the Cayman drop-off, folks. Now that drop-off, it goes down 2,500 feet. Right now we're at 94 feet. You guys want to go down deeper?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah? No? Yes? Yeah? Okay. I got a lady here shaking her head like, please God, no, no, no. And then I have everybody saying, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, we're safe. So we're gonna drop down some more. How much deeper you guys want to go? We're at 100 feet. And this time, guys, welcome to the triple digit club. Yep. But don't confuse it now with those other clubs, huh? There ain't no mile highs or airplanes around here. But also, it's a good time to share with your family, your friends, your loved ones. Yep. By giving them a hug, a high five, or a kiss. Yep, that you have made it down 100 feet and counting. Right now 104. And also a good time for us to welcome you to the lowest point in your relationship. Now, as I said before, this drop-off goes down 2,500 feet, but that's not really the deepest part of our island here. You see on the north wall it goes down to 6,500 feet. The eastern side of the island goes down 8,000 feet. But the deepest part of the island is the southeast section of the island, where it goes down a whopping 25,615 feet. Now that's where the Cayman Trench would be. Now, anyone, if you guys saw the movie The Abyss?
Yeah.
Parts of that movie was filmed right there in the Cayman Trench. Now, speaking of trenches, can anyone tell me the deepest trench known to man?
Mariana. Yeah.
And that would be correct. That would be the Marianas Trench. The Marianas Trench is actually 36,000 feet deep. Now, to put it into perspective, we can take the tallest mountain, Mount Everest, and put it in the Marianas Trench, and you still have a mile of water above Mount Everest. So here we're off the wall back a bit. We're into the coral reef area here, where both sides are actually having views of the coral reef. Now, as I said, keep an eye out for those turtles. Their shells, as you can see, do blend in with the coral reef. On your port side there, another small lionfish. A small mutton snapper right here on your starboard side. Another very tasty fish in our waters. Passing some rope sponges and some tube sponges on the starboard side here as well. A nice green tube sponge there, yeah. Now over here in the sandy area here, now we're coming over all of this sand. Where does all this, you ever wonder, where does all this sand come from? 40% of this sand comes from natural erosion, where the wave action hit the shells up on the coral reef, pulverize it, and crushing it into small pieces, creating sand. Now 60% of this sand though comes from the unlikely source called the parrotfish. Now the parrotfish is one of those razorfish that I told you about earlier. But not only that, the parrotfish, he has a very sharp and thick beak. And what he does, he'll eat not only coral but limestone off the coral reef. Now his insides cannot contain that limestone, so his insides pulverize it, crush it up, and it exits out of the parrotfish's rear with a four-letter word beginning with the word S. And that would be sand. Yep, not the other word. Now right over on your starboard side there, yep, that is a live conch in that conch shell, yep. As you can see, the trail's right behind him, so he moves pretty much 2 inches every 10 minutes. Now in the Cayman Islands here, we do have seasons. Right now we're open to conch and lobster season. Over here on the port side, you see those worm-like looking objects sticking up out of the sand?
Yeah.
Now those would be your garden eels. And those are the smallest eels in the eel family. They'll grow to a maximum of about 15 inches. we're passing these orange sponge in particular, otherwise known to open water divers as do not touch. Now an open water diver get encountered with one of those orange sponge, yep, he can look forward to having nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, very high fever, burning sensation, yep, all that good stuff. So open water divers, just stay away from those sponges. Now the other, the fire coral, the other coral that's in our waters here, that will have a major effect on our open water divers. They can have up to 3rd-degree burns if they get encountered with fire coral. Starboard side. Yeah. Now your female parrotfish is that checkered looking fish right down there on the sand on the starboard side. That's your female parrotfish. Stingray over here on your starboard side, a small stingray going up the coral reef. That is one of your southern stingrays. Over in the sandy areas, but yeah, there are some odd times we do see them crossing over on the coral reef. Some sandfile, a host of sandfile fish there on your starboard side. on the coral reef here on the port side. We have, we're just going to be coming off the Cayman drop off. So we're going to be coming back into the coral reef. Now, looking out there, everything looks a bit pale, right? A bit bluish, right?
Yeah.
Now, suppose I tell you, the colors are actually still there. What's taking effect right now is the light filtering color spectrum, where the sunlight at the various depths that we go down filters out the various colors. Now, a good way to illustrate that to you, in front here I have a danger sign, and we know danger signs are normally painted red, right? But look at this danger sign, it is like black, dark purple color, right? Now if I was to ask the pilot here to turn on the overhead lights, it comes back to red, right? So what's happening is the same filtering aspects that's taking place on the outside is actually taking place here inside of the submarine. So right now if you have a red blouse or a red shirt on, it would come back to red. But once we take off that light, it changes right back to a dark gray color. So, and the first color to disappear at 30 feet was red. Now once we get back above 30 feet, that shirt will change from a purple color back to red. Also, if you had like a neon shirt on, you would be glowing in the dark right now. So here we're passing some black durgeons there. A host of black durgeons on your starboard side. Nice queen angelfish there on the starboard side. Now, as I said before, the angelfishes, they are known as the romantics of the sea. You see, at an early age, they would find their mate, and they would stay with that mate for the remainder of their lives. Now, if either one of those mates was to die, the other one would starve themselves to death.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Lionfish.
Here we're on the starboard side, a mixture of blue chromis and also some Creole wrasse. starboard, on the port side there, another one of the green angelfish. Here's your French angelfish, folks. Right down there, a pair of them on the port side. Another one of the bigger lionfish there on the port side there. Now the lionfish, and this all one there, they have venomous spines, 18 as a matter of fact. They have 18 venomous spines. But I'm told once those spines are removed, here's one more there on the coral reef on the starboard side. The lionfish is a very tasty meal. As a matter of fact, you do have lionfish on the menu in some of our local restaurants. So one way of getting rid of the lionfish here, we eat them. Here's your male parrotfish, the turquoise blue looking fish right there on the starboard side. Here on the port side, we see some more of the garden eels. And also, you see those mounds in the sand. Now, there's the chain over here on the starboard side. Remember the mooring system I was telling you when we were coming out, where the fuel tanker would come in and fuel the tanker that I showed you on the iron shore that we were passing coming out? Those are the chains that hold that mooring in place. Now instead of we having the fuel tanker comes in every 2 weeks, it drops anchor, damaging the coral reef, we sacrificed a little piece of the reef so we could have him tie up there. And there's the underwater pickup hoses that goes right back to the iron shore, to the reservoirs that I showed you. Now if you look right down on the starboard side there, you see a southern stingray. And unfortunately, as our pilot just turned the lights on, our tour slowly coming to an end. Yep, so right now we're surfacing, we're at about 35 feet and ascending.
Not as fun as back then.
Oh God. Yeah, that's a great back.
Did that a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
We know, but
As you can hear now, we're going to be putting some high pressure air back into the water ballast tank to blow out the water there that will let us float right up to the surface. And as easy as that, folks, welcome back to the surface. So you can give it up to your pilot and your co-pilot there, narrator, for a very good tour.